Hey, what's up everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I got about 10 minutes to talk because I got to get some clothes out of the laundry in that time frame. But I do have a moment to tell you guys that Christian Wood had a arthroscopic surgery on his left knee today, and he'll be reevaluated within 8 weeks or at the 8-week point. I don't know if this is a cleanup job for the knee. If that's the case, it's nothing serious. Arthroscopic surgery, I don't really know what that entails. In a lot of cases you hear that. It's kind of like a vague way to describe that they probed the knee. So I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if this is the same knee he was injured with. I did not check. So for me, I'm just sitting there saying our center position is really scarce. We're going to be running AD at the center a lot this year. Colin Castleton, I'm sure, will get some minutes. Obviously, Jackson Hayes is still in place. But Christian Wood, I like Christian Wood. I think that he, and I've said this a couple times, provides a great twin tower effect with Anthony Davis when they're on the floor together. We rebound the ball fantastic. The length is very disruptive. The offense is better. So I like Christian Wood as a player, but the Lakers have too many problems in these pieces that surround Bron and AD. We got too many injured guys, one-way guys, underdeveloped guys. It's too many problems with our roster, and it's frustrating. Yeah, it's very frustrating. So that's really my problem right now. I just think that we've made some choices. I wasn't against all of the choices that we had made to get players and stuff like that. You know, each individual piece was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's get that player. Oh, yeah, let's get that player. All right. But now you have them all together, and it's like, can't really get excited about the team as a whole. And so that's what I think people are dealing with. As Laker fans and probably some players as well on the team, we look around and just say the upside of our roster ain't very good. And I know it's difficult to build around Bron and AD. I know we mortgaged a lot with the Russell Westbrook thing, and fixing it costs more to mortgage, and you know, certain decisions we made leading up to this point put us in this position. I've been preaching that the whole time. I don't think it's in the Lakers' best interest to pay premium prices for trades just to make the team better. I still feel that way even in paying attention to the situation. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the situation is as it is. It is a bit frustrating to look at this roster. And anybody that has to say that, I can agree with you. Now, whether or not it's worth it to fix it is an entirely different conversation. But that it just is a bit underwhelming in nature, I will never argue against that. That if we had 6 picks or 5 picks from which to trade, I would be ready to make some moves. Absolutely. If we had a healthy franchise worth of assets, I would want moves made. If there's a way to get a discount move made that can improve this team, yes, it needs to be done. All of these things. So when I sit here and I get frustrated with people about what trades need to be made, I don't want anybody to think that I'm excited about what this is as it pertains to this roster. I got the same frustrations as you. I just think it hurts us even more to try to fix it. I don't think it's going to be worth it to pay the prices necessary to fix all these problems. So, yeah, man, I don't know, man. This Christian Wood thing, hopefully he's ready for the start of the season. I'd imagine he's not going to play too much preseason, if any at all, with this situation in place. Timeline tells me absolutely not. It's the beginning of September, 8 weeks, 2 months. So yeah, he will be back in like early November, or at least evaluated at that point. So the season will have already started. Frustrated. I'm very frustrated. And I think most Laker fans are. I think we're all pretty frustrated right now. We just got too many individual problems. When you look at each and every player, there's a problem here, a problem there, a problem there, a problem there, a problem here, a problem there, a problem here, a problem there. And it really does find itself to be most of the team is flawed. Most of it. You're excited about this piece, he's young, but he can't do some specific things that most of the other guys can't do as well. And you got a guy who can do those things, but he can't do the things that these guys do. It's one-way players, as I've already discussed. I think that, you know, we got to look for moves that can make us better at a price that makes sense. Standing still, if everything is overpriced, is the way to go, and we just live with the headache. But we can't not search. That's what I'll say to Rob Pelinka. And I know that's a double negative, but it is the exact thought. That we must search for moves that can be responsibly made, that can improve this team. If they can't be done, we'll live with it. But that we're not searching for ways to get better is unacceptable. Not to assume one way or another. I'm just saying, getting better should be the goal here. Like, at some point in time, you just got to say, some of the stuff that we're married to, we have to weigh against how much it's going to be able to come together to be as good as we want to be. Okay, Laker fans? And I'm talking to myself when I say this as well. If I love Austin Reeves so much, but the only way I get to keep Austin Reeves is making it so that all the team players next to him suck, do I really have the best Austin Reeves effect? And that's not limited to Austin Reeves. It's just that he's probably the most likely player that we can trade to get better. And I don't like moving him because not only is he a nice player for us, but he's also on a fantastic contract, which is literally the opposite of a lot of the stuff that the Lakers are being offered, which is why I'm saying I'd rather stand still than take any of the stuff that's being rumored. But if there's anything out there that we can use to make our team better, we really need to study how bad we are if we stay stuck to the stuff that we'd rather have versus how much more flexibility and improved we would be if we sacrifice something we really appreciate to acquire pieces necessary for that flexibility. If it's not there, I'm fine with being frustrated with what we have. But if there's an aspirin pill and I got a headache, if I could take that pill, then my headache can go away. That is pretty much what I'm saying here. There's no reason for me to be sitting here looking at a bottle of aspirin and then saying, well, man, I'm just not certain if reaching over there is worth grabbing the bottle. You got an arm, reach and grab the bottle. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not reneging on anything I'm saying about staying pat, because the atmosphere around us looks like it ain't a whole lot to do that's going to make us better enough to where we don't have headaches. Most of the stuff that we're going to do is going to bottom out and make us even worse in some cases, taking on players that people want to soup up as better than they are, only for us to get them here and find out they can't help us. I don't want a different headache. I'll stick with the headache I got. But if I can relieve myself of a headache, I really need to probably consider it. So that's the analogy I'm using, man. This Christian Wood thing is just one more thing, because he was tweeting about it 2 weeks ago about how he's going to come back and look out for me and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you know, when you get to a certain age, playing basketball, and you start having knee problems, 7-footer, those guarantees that you're going to come back strong, they got to be attached to some damn good workout habits, some damn good eating habits. Like, your mind can tell you your body going to do something, but if you're not taking care of yourself or you're not getting the good luck that comes with being durable, all of that's going to set people up to let people down. And I'm not saying Christian Wood can't come back and get healthy. But here's the atmosphere Christian Wood is in. Because we have such a depleted center position behind Anthony Davis, he's going to be asked to get out there. Maybe a little sooner than he probably should be asked to. Just like we did with Vanderbilt last year. And so when you make certain guarantees, you got to look at not only what your intentions are, but what the needs of the team are versus your recovery time for what it is that you got going on. You just got to be realistic. And so that's my thought on Christian Wood's statement about how whatever he said when he said, yo, look out for me, I'm coming back. It's like, if your knee is going to have to get surgery like this, there is a world where you're going to have trouble recovering from that thing, because the first thing we're going to need to do is send you out there as soon as it seems like you're ready. So setbacks could be expected if we handle it that way. And if we don't handle it that way, we could be leaning on some players that are not ready to help us as much as we need in order to help ourselves to a good basketball team. A lot of that's on us not getting a center. But I mean, it's just so many flaws to this year's roster, man. Going into the season, you already know you got players that are opting in that should not even be here anymore. They should be opting. They should be going to China or something. We got a couple of those dudes, honestly, man. We got a couple guys who don't. They're fantastic pieces, but pieces that don't fit with what it is that your other pieces are. I'm just not entirely optimistic that this is going to be a very good season, man. I like the idea that Darvin Ham is now elsewhere so that we can have a new brain in place moving the pieces around. But he's going to run into some of the same problems that Darvin did and just going to have to find ways of coping with those problems until we fix them. And I just know that there are certain holes that he's not going to be able to patch up, man. This roster's flawed. It is what it is. So that's really my point of view, man. I think it's time to go down there and put the stuff in the dryer. It's 106 degrees, I believe, getting hotter. It's one of them hot days, man. And so I'm enjoying this air-conditioned room, but I chose to do laundry today, and I really am regretting it at this point. But it is what it is, man. I don't know, man. We're about a month away from the season starting, and we're already starting to have injury issues with players. You know, and guys not coming back on time with Vanderbilt situation. It's just like, yo, man. This is what happens when you are hell-bent on holding on to Bron and AD, when you don't have the requisite amount of assets and the atmosphere from which to be able to get good trades going, to put the right stuff around them. People are, you know, they're steadfast on doing what they want to do, but the expectations for those two are championship. And the roster does not allow for them to have that type of ceiling, man. This is what it's been for a couple of years now. But people keep on trying to beat the dead horse. No disrespect to anybody who would be offended by such an analogy, but like, that's what we're doing. We're continuing to try to force the square peg into the round hole when it comes to this roster and the expectations. You know, we're going to fall short, and it's going to be another frustrating year unless some things fall into place that I don't foresee are even really possible, to be honest with you, based on the type of field that's out there, other teams, and the way they're going to be able to attack us specifically with our specific weaknesses. It just doesn't look good, man. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look good. And you're asking some guys who are already have a massive amount of miles on their legs to drag a team with holes in it to the promised land. You know, you're trying to drink your soup with a ladle. holes all in the damn thing. You ain't getting nothing. That's kind of what it is. The amazing soup. Best cooked soup you can find. But you're trying to drink it with a ladle. So it's like, you're not getting anywhere, man. You do better putting a straw in the damn thing. Not that that analogy matches, but the point is we don't have what we need to be able to feast in the way that these two are demanded to win in regards to it, demanded to eat. It ain't barbecue chicken out there, man. You're chewing on glass. You understand what I'm saying? And I blame the players just as much as I blame ownership, because the players are hell-bent on keeping this thing together too. Bron want a no-trade clause, AD, you know. We love these guys, man, but because of what has happened here, we can't put enough around you for you to meet your expectations, brothers. We just can't do it. That's what it comes down to. We got to secure ourselves being horrible in the future in order to put enough around you so that could even be close to possible for you to drag something to the promised land, bro. I just don't. I don't believe in this, and I want people to understand that it's not Bron and AD, because if they were in the right situation, hell yeah, they're gonna be the favorites to win the championship. But you got a bunch of flawed stuff running around them, man. A bunch of flawed stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And whether or not we want to admit it, you can't win that way. BDL 44. Thank you all for watching.